Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Pegasus. Today we're going to be talking about how to achieve OBE after adjusting our environmental stresses. What are environmental stresses? Anything that have to do with cats, dogs, kids, spouses, jobs, money stresses, thoughts in your forward mind of failure, thoughts in your forward mind of achievable. The more you stress out about the little things, the harder it's going to be for you to achieve OBE. Therefore, we need to discuss the environmental stresses and how to get around them. You want to be in a location either sitting up or laying down that's comfortable for you. If you have the hum of a fan, or you have a noise machine that does wave sounds, all the better. You don't want music, loud music, or singing music, or even classical music, because though it helps relax the mind and the body, it doesn't allow the consciousness to separate from the body. It also makes it rough sometimes, even achieving astral with music playing in the background, because it gives the mind something to concentrate on. When the mind is concentrated, so is the consciousness. So with that being said, you want to be sure that you're ready to move forward and just have very minimal noise in the background. Like I said, a slight hum of a fan works real well. So let's look at some of the environmental stresses we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis that we don't think about. The phone ringing, turn it off. The cat coming in and wanting to love on us while we're laying down on the floor or in the bed or sitting down relaxing. Get in a room where the cat or the dog or no animals are. Barking dogs will affect it. If you're meditating in the woods, you have things like woodland sounds. Most of your woods nowadays, if you live in the suburban areas, you have busy roads around you. Automobiles, car honks, squealing of brakes, what have you, will get into your consciousness, making that much harder to achieve OBE. You want to also be sure that the kids are either over at a friend's house for a couple of hours, at school, daycare, or at night they're in bed asleep with little chance of waking up. Be sure that your spouse or your mate is either away from work or understands that you need a couple of hours of meditation, and they're not going to be banging and beating around the house trying to build bookshelves, run the dishwasher, run the washing machine, the dryer, what have you. Any sudden changes in your environment, noises, any twitches in energy around you, can slap you or slam you out of OBE, astral, or any form of meditation. One of my biggest questions is, while my consciousness is away, then my body can be possessed. No. Spirits and things and what have you can pass through. They may look around, they may poke around, but when you come back from the astral or OBE, there's a simple thought called home. No matter whatever or whoever is trying to, quote, possess your body will be shoved out immediately. And you need to remember this, and you need to be conscious of this when you're coming home to your body. The reason for this is your body is your temple. No one nor nothing can harm it, damage it, or possess it without your given permission or consent. Same goes with abuse. If you allow abuse, it's going to happen. If you stay in an environment where there is abuse, it's going to happen. If you allow yourself to be abused, it's going to happen. So if you set your mind that you're no longer going to deal with any kind or any form of environmental abuse, then it will start to change and it'll start to happen. You just got to be willing to take those chances. That is a whole nother chapter and a whole nother book. So, moving on with the environmental stresses. there are any one of the 5 human elements that I talked about in the last chapter that will keep you from being able to achieve true full OBE. If you're psychologically, emotionally unstable or unhappy, OBE will be very hard to do. Now, I'm not saying you need to be bouncy, giddy, happy, joy, joy. That's not my point. You need to be conscious of yourself. You need to be conscious of your 5 elements, where they're at and what they're doing. If you accept the fact that you might suffer from depression, that's fine. Try not to OBE while in a depressed state. If you suffer from heavy mood swings, accept that and try not to achieve OBE or even astral while you're in one of these major swings. All human beings have certain problems and certain stresses that they have to deal with in their environment every day. Do not let yourself become so wrapped up in the internal drama of what's going on that you don't remember who you are or what you're supposed to be doing. Now, as you sit down, lay down, what have you, to meditate in OBE, there's a couple of good tests that you can try. One, have a friend, someone you trust, someone that's not going to play games with you, do menial house tasks, whatever. Then have them do something out of the ordinary while you're in OBE. Attempt to go visit them. See yourself sitting in their living room, bedroom, whatever, what have you. Walk through their house with your conscious self. Look at their house. Look at what they're doing. And pay very close attention to detail, because they may decide to test you. They may say, oh no, I was just sitting on my ass all day playing solitaire. And you're sitting there going, well, wait a minute, I saw you doing laundry and you took out a red striped shirt. You folded it right over left and then folded it as they normally fold them in grocery stores, or clothing stores. If someone was cooking dinner, pay attention to the detail of the sides and the meats or whatever they were having for dinner. The types of pans they used to prepare them. Pay attention to the smell, the sight, the sounds. Pay attention to every detail that you can, and what this will do is it will strengthen your faith in yourself and your ability to do OBE. It's a lot of fun. It's not real easy to do. It does require practice, because you have to get around the human fantasy. The human fantasy wants to say, well, I already know what they're going to do. They do the same shit every day. No, that's why I said earlier, have them do something out of character. Have them do something that they wouldn't normally do. One of my OCDs is if it's a door, it has to be closed. So when my friends and I have tested OBE and I've been teaching students to OBE, sometimes I'll leave a door open. Yeah, I know, I just gave away one of my secrets. Oh well. But I will do things out of character. I will stop in the living room and turn around 3 times just for nothing. Or I'll pick up something and move it. And I get about 60% accuracy from my students that do this. Some of them will OBE, they'll come visit and sit and have a metaphysical chat with me. On very rare occasion, I've seen the essence of one of my close friends sitting next to me, and I will have a vocal conversation with them, and they'll come back and tell me what that vocal conversation was about. That's building the power of OBE. Also, schedule a trip. Take a glance at Google Maps to get into your mind, or whatever map you use, to get into your mind the trip, how to get there, and a basis of what the external location looks like. And then go inside your mind and get your consciousness to go through the door, visualize the building, see the halls and the rooms and moving around in the building, and then the next day when you go, try to navigate the building without the help of a building map. I think you'll be amazed. So with that, we go back and we remember environmental stress. Environmental stress can be very damaging to a human, just as it can to a dog, cat, or any other animal that also shares that environmental stress with you. We've all seen dogs and cats that were in abusive situations, in abusive homes. Every home they're in after that, for a while, they're skittish, they're afraid. Humans are the same way. So readjust your environmental system, readjust your environmental stress. Only you can. Only you can change your environment, no one else. I do thank you for watching. I've gotten some real good feedback on our videos and on our Coffee with Pegasus. As we move forward into other chapters, I look forward to seeing and hearing from you about other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy your day.